Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It is 8:37. Good morning on this very eventful Monday morning in the nation's capital between the pardons and the vote for cloture in the Senate that will now lead to the end of the government shutdown, to preparations for tomorrow's Veterans Day, and, of course, getting Julie Gunlock's turkey in the oven, if you know what I mean. I don't know why. That just sounds naughty. It's Larry O'Connor with Julie Gunlock. Thanks for joining us. You okay, Jules?
I'm fine.
Good. You're going to be even better. Friend of the program and a good man. Matthew Faraci joins us right now. I, of course, a righteous Catholic supporter of everything Matthew does in his career, and certainly with his great support of the State of Israel. Matthew, good to talk with you as always. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, the man, the legend, His High Holiness, the great, the immortal, the one and only, Larry O'Connor.
This is why we're friends. This right here is why we're friends. Absolutely.
Yes,
in fact, I'd marry you if either of our religious faiths allowed it. I would marry you. But.
Well, Larry, to quote Charlie Kirk's pastor Rob McCoy, I love you as much as a man can love another man and still be a man.
That said, you brought to my attention an important issue, and I know you're working with faith leaders through the National Association of Christian Lawmakers.
Yep.
With regard to a White House visit today by the new leader of Syria. And tell me what's going on in Syria, because we've discussed this quite a bit with regard to the concerns over the Druze and other religious Christians and other religious minorities in Syria. And we were hoping that this new leader, President Ahmad al-Sharaa, would help some of those groups. But there's been some issues. Right. What's going on?
Well, first of all, it's important to note that President Trump is the only world leader, and it says this in the letter, that substantively cares about religious freedom and has done more for religious freedom than any president, at least since Reagan, and at least in recent memory. And you remember, Larry, a week ago, he talked about Nigeria and how it's not only not acceptable to kill Christians in Nigeria, but he said it's not acceptable to kill Christians in other countries.
Anywhere.
So the new, yes, right. Okay, so with that is sort of Trump's almost, faith-based Monroe doctrine, if you will, saying this is what the United States believes on freedom of religion around the world. The new president of Syria, al-Sharaa, Trump, as you know, met him recently with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, and he said, "Look, I'm going to give you the car keys, okay, kid? I'm going to give you a chance. I know you've had a troubled past. I know you've been in and out of juvie, a little terrorism here and there. So we're going to give you the car keys, okay? And we hope that you do well." And what happened is back in July in the southern region of Syria called Sweda, there was an October 7th style massacre with unspeakable horrors, including like little children being raped, grandparents thrown off a building with their grandchildren.
This was the Druze, alive. Right? Was this the Druze or the Christians?
And Christians. And Christians. They took a Baptist pastor out of his church and killed him and 20 members of his family. So it was an absolute rampage. And then since then,
and Matthew, I'm sorry, just real fast, just because we talked about it at the time, but remind me, were those troops or officials directly connected to the government, or was it some sort of like renegade mob? What was the affiliation of those who perpetrated that crime?
Well, the problem that you have, Larry, is that a lot of ISIS ended up joining the Syrian army. So the question is, who are you dealing with? Is it an official thug? Is it an unofficial thug? Is the person unofficial in the morning and official in the afternoon? Who knows? Right? Yeah. Right?
Okay.
So there were videos of people with Syrian army uniforms, and there were videos of tanks and stuff like that. So, there had to be knowledge of it. Let's be really charitable, okay?
Right. Okay.
So since then, they put this city of 700 to 750,000 people under siege, and for instance, their daily water intake is below the United Nations daily minimum for starvation. So what they're doing is there's a Chinese-style siege, Chinese Communist Party-style siege surrounding Sweda, and what it needs to be done, especially as the winter is coming, is we need emergency supplies to be able to get in and out. So the letter is asking the president, hey, can you tell this guy that you did give him the keys, that you told him he had to behave himself, and he's running people over on the sidewalk who are Christian, Druze, and others. And that's, America's got a lot of leverage right now. There's a lot that Syria needs from us. And so this is the moment to say, hey, buddy, behave yourself.
So what are you hoping to achieve? This letter that you've put forth, you've put your name to it along with your organization, as well as Ben Carson, Senator Sam Brownback, Kevin Sorbo, Gary Bauer, Ralph Reed. Alveda King. What are y'all hoping the president does today in his conversations, either in front of cameras or off, with the leader of Syria?
Yeah, the letter is specifically requesting, and I got to give a shout out to Dee Dee Logson, who runs Save the Persecuted Christians, and this is her initiative and her letter, and she's a real hero to me. Heroine would be proper. So the letter specifically is asking for a humanitarian corridor to be open from Hadar, which is near the Israeli border in the Golan Heights, to Sweda to allow unmolested aid to flow in and out of Sweda, because they could argue, okay, there's aid coming from Damascus, but Larry, that's kind of like, the mafia at New York Harbor, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, maybe we give you a little of this and we take a little out and you get what's left. Like that's not free and unfettered aid, right? And so what needs to happen is that the people that are stuck and trapped inside Sweda need to be able to get food, water, medicine. We're talking the basics, and no more, and without getting shot. And that's what's been happening is aid trucks have been attacked, blown up, all kinds of violence happening. And so it's a very simple ask: open the corridor, end the blockade, and let the aid in, and stop killing Christians, Druze, and other religious minorities who are not Muslim.
Well, if President Trump's track record, as well as the track record of his Secretary of State Marco Rubio, is any indication, I suspect that you're going to see some movement on this today, Matthew Faraci, not least of which because of the efforts that you've spearheaded here with your team. I appreciate it. And for all Christians listening, I mean, listen, if you're unsure on Syria's role here, I mean, that's Antioch. That's Tarsus. I mean, there's a whole lot of footsteps of the apostles going right through Syria, where the first time the word Christian was used was in Antioch. That's the heartbeat of what we're talking about here, and we'll be focusing on it. Matthew, thank you so much for raising this issue this morning.
Hey, Larry, I got to leave you with this. Make Syria Christian again.
Oh, I'm buying the hat.
Come on, Larry.
Today.
Listen,
you dream big, Matthew. You dream big. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. It is 8:44.